Toups Graphics presents Mastering the STAAR Test, 6th grade math. From the Woodlands Waterway in the Woodlands, Texas, Toups Graphics, always believe, brings you yet another PENTAGON T 6th grade Math STAAR Test. Question number 1. Al has a package of 8 bolts and Tim has a package of 12 bolts. What is the minimum number of packages each needs to get to have the same number of bolts? To get this answer, we'll have to work with the least common multiple and write the multiples out. The multiples Al would get would be 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. Tim would have 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, and so forth. The smallest multiple in both lists, or LCM, would be 24. To get 24 bolts, Al would need 3 packages, and Tim would need 2 packages. Looking at our answer choices, the correct answer choice would be D. Al would need 3 packages, and Tim would need 2. Al has a dozen donuts, half glazed and half chocolate. Tim eats 1 chocolate donut. What is the probability that Al gets a chocolate donut with the remaining donuts? To get this answer, we need to know that probability is favorable outcomes over possible outcomes. The number of favorable outcomes would be 5. The possible outcomes would be 11 since Tim ate 1 of the donuts. The answer would be A, 5 over 11. Question number 3. Brad's bicycle tire has a circumference of 48 inches. About how long is one of the spokes on his tire? To get the answer, you need to know that the spoke would go from the center to the outside, which would be the radius. It takes 6 radii to make a circumference. If you would take 6 and divide it into 48, you would get 8. The radius would be about 8 inches, or choice D. Question number 4. What are the prime factors of 56? 2 to the 3rd times 7, 7 times 8, 2 to the 2nd times 7, or 2 times 3 times 7? To prime factor, we need to use a factor tree. 56 would be 7 times 8, 8 would factor to 2 times 4, and 4 would factor to 2 times 2. Looking at the bottom, you would have 56 being 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. Using an exponent, we could write that as 2 to the 3rd times 7. The answer would be A. 2 to the 3rd times 7 would be the prime factors of 56. Brad went to work with his mom and got on the elevator on the 14th floor. He went up 6 floors, down 8 floors, up 36 floors, up 9 floors, down 49 floors, then up 3 floors. What floor is he on now? To get the answer, we need to use integers. 14th floor would be plus 14, then plus 6, minus 8, plus 36, plus 9, minus 49, plus 3. If you did the arithmetic, the answer would be 11. He would be on B, the 11th floor. The Pentagon T, Toups Graphics, always believed STAAR Test is sponsored by the LCM. Do you need a common denominator? You need to find the LCM. Now, a word from our sponsors. Today's Pentagon T, Toups Graphics 6th grade STAAR Test is sponsored by Denominator. Do you need to write a fraction? The bottom number would be the denominator. By Integers. Do you need to represent increase or decrease? You need a positive or negative integer. And by Prime Factors. Do you need help finding the factors of a number? You need to make a factor tree and get the prime factors. The Pentagon T 6th grade Math STAAR Quiz continues from the Woodlands Waterway in the Woodlands, Texas. Question number 6. What percent of the pieces are X'd? Is it 9%, 60%, 75%, or 80%? To get the answer, we need to make a ratio with X over total. It's 9 over 15. You can divide by the GCF of 3 and simplify that to 3/5. As 6th graders, you should know that 3/5 is 60%. The answer is B, 60%. Question number 7. What relationship exists between a probability and its complement? A, they have a sum of 1. B, they have a sum of 90. C, they have a sum of 100. Or D, they have a difference of 0. To get the answer, you need to know that the complement of a probability is the probability of the event not occurring. The sum of a probability and its complement will represent the whole sample. The whole sample would represent one whole unit, so the probability plus the complement would always equal to a quantity of 1. The answer would be A. They have a sum of 1. If you had a globe, the equator would be the same as what of the globe? A, the diameter, B, the radius, C, the circumference, or D, the area? If you traced your finger around the equator of the globe, you would be going around the globe. It would be equal to C, the circumference. The equator would be the same as the circumference of a circle. The Pentagon T 6th grade Math STAAR Quiz will continue after this commercial break.
The Pentagon T baseball hat. It will help you always believe. Just put on the hat and start studying the Pentagon T test tip booklet. The hat will give you more power to remember the tips.
The Pentagon T STAAR Test Tip Booklet can be yours. Go to www.toupsgraphics.com. That's www.toupsgraphics.com and click on the STAAR resource page to get your copy today. The Pentagon T 6th grade Math STAAR Quiz continues from the Woodlands Waterway in the Woodlands, Texas. Question number 9. To make a large cake, Brad has to use 2 3/4 cups of milk and 1 7/8 cups of canola oil. How much oil and milk is that? A. 4 5/8, B. 3 5/6, C. 4 3/8, or D. 4 1/6. To get the answer, we need to find the sum or the total of the oil and the milk. We need to combine 2 3/4 and 1 7/8. Since the denominators are not the same, step 1 is to find the LCM, which will be the common denominator. If you were to write the multiples of 4 and 8 out, 8 would be the LCM or common denominator. Step 2 is to rewrite the fractions with equivalent denominators. Both fractions will have a denominator of 8. We need to multiply 4 by 2 and 8 by 1 to change the denominators to 8. If you do that, we'll have 6 8s and 7 8s. Now we'll calculate the sum of the numerators and the whole numbers. If you add the whole numbers, you get 3, and the fractions would add up to 13 8s. Now we need to rewrite the improper fraction. 8 goes into 13 one time with a remainder of 5, so 13 over 8 is equivalent to 1 5/8. Now we'll find the sum of the whole numbers, 3 and 1 5/8. That would give us a total of 4 5/8. If you were to go back to the original problem, the answer would be A, 4 5/8. Question number 10. Simplify 28 minus 6, parentheses, 8 minus 5, close parentheses, plus 12. To get the answer, we need to use the order of operations. We need to do the parentheses first. So we'll perform the subtraction problem of 8 minus 5 as our first calculation. 8 minus 5 is 3. The next step would be to do the multiplication of 6 times 3. 6 times 3 would be 18. Our problem is now 28 minus 18 plus 12. We need to add and subtract from left to right, so we'll do 28 minus 18. 28 minus 18 is 10. Now we'll perform our last operation of 10 plus 12. By performing the order of operations, we come to find our answer to be 22. Going back to our original problem, we would find the answer would be D, 22. Which is a valid statement. The sum of 2 angles will always equal an obtuse angle. The sum of 2 acute angles will always equal a right angle. The sum of 2 acute angles can also be an acute angle, or choice D. All are valid statements. A valid statement means that the statement would be true. Let's try to get rid of wrong choices. Look at choice A. The sum of two acute angles will always equal an obtuse angle would be false. What if the two acute angles were 10 degrees and 15 degrees? Their sum would be 25 degrees, which is not an obtuse angle. So choice A is incorrect. This also eliminates choice D. Using our example of 10 degrees and 15 degrees, those do not form a right angle. So choice B is also not true. Choice C is true because the sum of two acute angles can also be an acute angle. So the answer is choice C. Question number 12. The letters PENTAGON are placed in a bag. What is the complement of picking a vowel? Is it A, 1/4, B, 3/8, C, 1/2, or D, 5/8? To get the answer, we need to know that probability is the likelihood of an event occurring, and a complement of a probability is the likelihood of an event not occurring. Now let's go back to our problem. We want to know the complement of picking a vowel. The complement of picking a vowel would be the probability of not picking a vowel. How many letters are not vowels? P, N, T, G, and N. There are 5 letters that aren't vowels out of 8. So the answer would be D, 5/8. Today's quiz has been sponsored by Diameter. Do you need to know how far it is across a pizza? You need to know the diameter. Median. Do you need to know the middle number of a list of numbers? You need the median. And probability. Do you need to know the likelihood of an event occurring? You need probability. The 6th grade Math STAAR Quiz has been produced by Toups Graphics. Toups Graphics. Always believe.